Humanity is shaped and molded by criminal activity. Violent acts of the past and the present created the world that we live in. Let's dive right into it. This is Left Side of the Brain. Do us a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button, that share button, and that subscribe button, and let's dive right into it. It dawned upon me today that this world that we live in, since the beginning of time, this world has been shaped and molded by way of criminal activity. Violence has molded and shaped the way of life that we live and experience on this earth. Let's look at that in more detail. Now, when we speak about the great falling away, that was the beginning of the downfall of humanity. And even looking at it from a religious perspective, how was this very world shaped according to the Bible? The fall of man in the Garden of Eden. Man fell. You can say that's the great falling away as well. When sin came into the world. And everything has been shaped from wrongdoings in this world that we live in. The landscape, the governments, cultures, our way of life, everything has been shaped by way of criminal activity. Think about it. Let's look at America, for instance. The very country that we live in today, and some of you may be viewing this from different areas around the world, but I'm in America. So let's use America as an example. America has not always been what we call the melting pot. Okay? It hasn't always been made up of many different races of people. It wasn't always like that. So that means the way that we live today in America, was made through criminal activity, violence. The borders around the world, different countries, different nations, the borders that we see around the world. How do you think those borders came about between nations? How do you think those borders came about? Well, through war, some form of pillaging and criminal activity. That's how it came about. Borders didn't create themselves. Different government policies that keep rich people at the top of the tax bracket. Those things didn't come about by themselves. The elitists who run this world, how do you think they got to the top? Through criminal activity and violence, and also, of course, manipulation. But everything that we do has been shaped and molded by somebody doing something that's wrong. Okay? Now, with that in mind, let's segue into the topic of the video. Because this world that we live in is founded upon criminal activity, that means there is no undoing the foundation of this world. So there is no such thing. You can't find any justice in something built upon criminal activity. So that means this entire structure, this entire world, this entire landscape is nothing but, they call it civilization, but really, and this is about to blow your mind, it's really just a civilized hell. A civilized hell. And there's nothing civil about it. They even tell you that this world is not civil in the word itself. Let's break that word down. Civilized. It's a lie. It's not civil. It's only civil to the evil people. And they telling you to lie, that it's civilized. But they not really lying to you. They telling you straight up in your face, it's civilized. And they snicker. They create these words, and it's almost like a mockery, these words that they create. They create these words to jeer and to sneer at you and to make a mockery of you. Civilized. That's what they do. That's what those demons do. Now, let's dig deeper. Let's go further. Since we've laid out that this world is built upon criminal activity and that is nothing but a civil hell, basically, this world is hell with rules. But I thought about something. All it takes is one action that will break out everybody into the full, that will break this world into the full capacity of what hell is. Now, let me give you an example. Think about the earth tectonic plates. The earth tectonic plates sit upon lava, right? Now, all it takes to trigger volcanoes all around the world is just one strike of the pen or missile or some type of thudding comet or something hitting a fault line at the exact precise point on the earth. And you know what it would do? It would break the tectonic plates. It would cause earthquakes. And it would induce volcanoes all around this world. This world would be covered in lava and ash. So I'm using that example to tell you this. All it takes for this world to break out into complete hell is just one right action. Because we living in hell, but right now they got hell kind of constrained. Do y'all get what I'm saying? We living in hell right now, but it's an illusion that is not hell. It's made to feel like it's civil. But at any moment, the volcano could erupt. All it takes is one strike of something to happen. Now, that something could be a famine. All it takes is one thing for people to fall into their lower self of survival. You see, survival, the instinct of survival, that's connected to your lower self. See, the lower self consists of things like competition of the species, competing for food, for women. That's the lower self. And when people, that need to survive is the greatest passion inside of anybody. It's greater than love. See, a woman can tell a man, I'm about to break up with you, and he can, he can deal with it. But how many people can deal with death? Like somebody pointing a gun at you, that's going to create the greatest fear inside of you. It's a natural thing. Don't feel bad about it. It's a natural thing because you are programmed to survive. That's why you run up on an ant and it starts to run around. That's within every species on this planet. Roaches, flies, ants, spiders, that whip birds, deer. So all it would take is for them to do one thing, which could be causing a food shortage, a water shortage, a stimulus check shortage, anything that will break people into their lower self, which will bring the hell out of everybody. And in a situation like that, it would be another thing that you would have to do. You pull back law enforcement. My God. You pull back law enforcement, and then you empty the shelves in stores. You empty the water. And you have people out here with families and children. You would have just created hell. That's the equivalent of that volcano spewing all across the globe. Think about that. You would have created hell on earth in the twinkling of an eye. All it takes is one thing. So I'm saying this to say, this world, we are always on edge. We are always on edge. And this world was molded and shaped by criminal activity. There is no honor amongst thieves. These governments, they don't trust each other. Demons don't trust other demons. They demons. HPBs don't trust other HPBs. They don't trust each other. They out for themselves. I'm going to end this video right here. I could have keep going, but I'm going to end it right here. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I was about to get heated, but that'll go into some other subject matter. And this is Left Side of the Brain. Signing out. Like, share, and subscribe. Jaguars up. HPBs down. And this is Left Side of the Brain. And I'm out.